Drake's team allegedly spreading negative stories about Kendrick Lamar? Insiders reveal. The ongoing rivalry between Drake and Kendrick Lamar has escalated beyond mere lyrical exchanges. It has transformed into a significant conflict. Now, sources are suggesting that Drake's team may have crossed a serious boundary, potentially shifting this from a rap rivalry to a campaign of character assassination. Rumors are circulating that individuals associated with Drake have been disseminating negative stories about Kendrick in the media for months, if not years. Hello everyone, welcome to Celebrity Cookies. Please don't forget to subscribe and comment your thoughts about the video. I hope to see you in our next cookies. Now, let's get into the details. According to multiple industry insiders, Drake's team did not simply wait for Kendrick to falter on his own. Instead, they were actively working behind the scenes to tarnish Kendrick's image. Here's how it allegedly unfolded. Public relations agents linked to OVO began leaking unverified, sensational rumors about Kendrick to gossip websites, music platforms, and social media. Since Kendrick is known for being private, these stories lingered without rebuttal. He didn't rush to social media to deny every rumor like some artists do, allowing the speculation to fester. Some insiders even assert that certain anonymous sources cited in major publications over the years were actually tied to Drake's inner circle all along. If true, this is both a clever strategy and incredibly ruthless, using subtle tactics, whisper campaigns, and sowing seeds of doubt. This way, when Drake eventually unleashed his diss tracks in 2024, the audience would already be somewhat convinced that Kendrick was no longer invulnerable. Drake's team plays the long game. They don't just respond when insulted. They craft narratives months ahead, so when they finally act, it feels inevitable. This isn't the first instance of Drake employing media manipulation as a tactic. Remember the Meek Mill incident in 2015? Drake didn't simply release back-to-back and walk away. His team inundated social media with memes, narratives, and subtle leaks that portrayed Meek as emotional, careless, and bitter. The public bought into it. By the time Meek attempted to respond, he had already become a punchline. The situation with Kendrick feels strikingly similar, only on a much larger scale. Because Kendrick is not just another rapper. He is Kendrick, the so-called last pure lyricist, a Pulitzer Prize winner, the artist that both rappers and critics regard as the benchmark. If Drake manages to damage that reputation, even just a little, it would mark one of the most ruthless victories in hip-hop history. We need to tread carefully here, as we can't verify every rumor. However, when multiple sources, from former label interns to independent journalists to retired managers, are all pointing to the same trend, it often suggests there's some truth behind it. And things get even wilder from here. Some believe that Drake's team didn't just spread negative stories about Kendrick, they also worked to elevate rival artists by subtly suggesting that someone else was the new king, or that Kendrick was losing his edge compared to newer, more ambitious acts. The strategy seems to be to divide and conquer, boost the competition, and undermine Kendrick's status, all while doing it quietly until his throne starts to shake. Now that Kendrick is finally responding publicly, Drake is striking when Kendrick is already vulnerable. And if you think Kendrick is unaware of this situation, think again. Sources close to TD indicate that Kendrick has known about these whisper campaigns for a long time but chose not to address them publicly, believing his music would be enough to silence any critics. However, with the media now turning against him, Kendrick may have no choice but to alter his approach. You can already hear the change in his recent tracks. The Kendrick we see now is sharper, angrier, and more paranoid. He's calling people out, revealing locations, and exposing behind-the-scenes actions. It's no longer just about being the best lyrically, it's about survival. If he doesn't push back on all fronts, music, media, and public perception, he risks allowing Drake to reshape his legacy while he's still alive, which would be a tragedy for one of rap's true legends. And speaking of survival, brace yourself for things to get much messier from here. If Drake's team really did plant those stories, who knows what else they might have hidden away? Old text messages, secret recordings, failed business deals. If you thought this feud was intense now, get ready for what's to come. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on the story.